everyone, this is Charlotte and this is a podcast called Chatting and Doing Stuff. This is where I discuss random topics at this point on my way to work. Shower thoughts. You don't have to take them seriously. I don't take them seriously myself most of the days. There is a disclaimer at the start of this podcast because I do talk about sensitive topics, so now's your chance to turn it off if you don't want to hear about pretty adult stuff at times. On top of this, I also swear a lot, so if you don't want to hear a person swearing or you feel like it might hurt your feelings to hear the word fuck, absolutely turn it off. And this is not made for kids, so that's the reason I put such a restricted access on it. The topic for today is fate, and I do believe in fate. I mean, bearing in mind I am a born romantic, so I'm a little bit naive when it comes to things like that, maybe. I do like that. I do think that we have a purpose, obviously a divine purpose, all of us, whether we want to see it or not, whether you're, religiously or belief system wise inclined to believe, to, participate in that. But I do think we have all got a purpose here, whether it's big or small. I mean, honestly, all you need to do is look at your birth chart to know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing here. Most people are freaking out when they hit 40 or so because they can't figure out what they're doing with their life, and that's just a minor existential crisis. We all have that. What am I doing with my life? Well, did you consult the map? No? Okay, go and look at the map. I mean, you're gonna need to break it down a bit. Helps when you can get someone to translate it for you, obviously. But we've all got a birth chart. If you want to go and have a look, see what you're meant to be doing, that's a good start. Sorry, ex-husband clone. But it's everything is sort of divinely orchestrated for you to be able to participate in the great game of life, essentially. Or at least that's my belief system. You don't have to hold to that. At the same time, a lot of people feel a bit rudderless. They feel maybe they've had some shit experiences in life, and so to believe that everything has a design or was meant to happen might posit their divine origin. I want to say like God or goddess or whatever they believe in. They might believe that it's more of a cruel view of how life has turned out. If someone's led a hard life, they might be a bit more cynical or bitter towards the experiences they've had if they believe, of course, that this happened for a reason. It's like, no one ever deserves it, really, but it is the learning experience. So, you're meant to learn from these things and these events and experiences that happen. Oh, it's hot in here. Hopefully it's not messing up the volume. To discount that there is some kind of premeditated order of events or circumstances, I think is a bit close-minded. I don't think you should leave everything up to chance. And it does give some people a sense of security to know that all the dots connect at some point for a purpose, a common goal, which formulates a lot of organized religions, to be honest. It gives people a sense of security, a template for which they can operate under. There is certain elements of cruelty that is involved in some events that we have in our life. I mean, no one really deserves to be attacked or raped or something like that. But it's I would say the universal divine, or whatever you call it, giving you a chance to learn particular skills or gather particular understanding about these events that have occurred. That's the jewel of the crown there. The event was shit, but what did you learn? And what did you build up from this experience? Did you melt and die inside and just become incredibly cynical and bitter, or did you break through this mindset that the world's against me and I can't do anything about it? Or did you grow and flourish in these circumstances, which are obviously crap, but were a chance for you to understand context in which you live a bit more? Anyone who's lived in poverty understands that there are certain elements which are your fault for living in poverty, not all of them. You have to take accountability for your actions in your own existence. I, for one, took accountability for my actions. I said, look, I've been raised in poverty. I wasn't born into it, but my parents were that way inclined, so that we were raised in it. Do I want to stick in it? I need to, and my brain said no. And in that way, I encouraged my own sense of agency in changing what my life chances were. If I look at my birth chart, is it going? If I look at my birth chart, it's actually pre-designed that I should be doing these things, that I should be getting out of the shithole I was raised in. That was predetermined. So there's an element of fate when you look at your birth chart. For example, my North Node, which is my main purpose in life, in this life, is Taurus. It is for stability. It is for financial stability, emotional, psychological. It's that home and hearth, the steady safety side of things. And we do this by working hard. So some people would look at that and go, oh, that's a shit North Node, because you're going to be working your entire life and it's hard and it's boring and, you know. But that is my purpose in life, is to work. And I don't mind it, because it does give you a sense of purpose. Obviously, now that you know what we have to do, you can work towards it. According to those guys doing, according to certain spiritual philosophers, my South Node being Scorpio is that I existed in a spiritual realm a little too long, that I didn't understand the earthly side of things. So maybe in the past life I was a priest or something, or something of the equivalent. It's like my head was all in the clouds and the ether, and I wasn't looking at the physical side of things enough to understand what was going on. So this life, I now need to balance it out by looking at the 3D and what I need to do in this to promote stability and a peaceful attitude towards life and existence, so that in the next time I get reincarnated or whatever happens, we don't know because we're not there, I'm moving either on to the next stage, or I understand it better, or something like that. It's the evolution side of things. If you were given, for example, a North Node of Leo, Leo is all about standing on your own and leading. I don't know what the South Node is. I think it's Aquarius. But you need to, basic for that North Node, you need to get off your ass and actually do something with it. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as it is, you know, in a leadership position. My ex-boyfriends, I looked at his birth chart. My ex-boyfriends, only momentarily, I wasn't that interested. He has the North Node of Leo. He's supposed to lead, but he doesn't want to, because it's easier to follow others around and just copy what they're doing, and hopefully you'll get ahead that way. It's his purpose to cut the way, to show the others how to do it. But the way, if he is cutting the way and showing people how to do it, it's very toxic. So of course it's undermining any growth he's actually making. You've heard all the stories about this guy. I'm not going into depth about it. He is kind of doing it, but not in a way that's ethical. So he's got the methods. Say you're baking a cake, you got the methods, but the ingredients are shit. And it's not going to work. See, if I followed my Taurus North Node in a materialistic, greedy kind of Empress in reverse kind of way, that's just hoarding wealth and fuck everyone else and I'll backstab anyone to get what I can, it wouldn't work, because the ingredients are shit. The universe is not going to let you be a prick for long. It will undermine you. You've got all these other people with their North Nodes to consider. We have to find a way to make this, you know, patchwork quilt of events work. So if someone's fucking up their North Node, it's going to be counteracted with someone else's North Node. For example, if I was materialistic and working in an Empress in reverse kind of way, I would get someone who is an actual Taurus in the upright North Node. I know it sounds like gibberish. And they would just kick my ass, essentially, or restrict me from growing in any kind of way. So that I wouldn't have the ability to hoard the wealth. So it's all balances and checks and balances kind of thing. You need to make sure that you're doing it the right way, ethically. That doesn't create a cruel existence for anyone else, because obviously in that way you're going to build up your karma if you're a nasty fucker. And everything comes out in the wash, as we're seeing with things like Trump and Epstein and everything like that. And P. Diddy at this point, I'm thoroughly loving what 50 Cent's doing. I'm going, you go. Took you 10 years? That was some growth mindset. You did this for 10 years, you got all this evidence. That's fucking impressive. that's amazing. That's like, you can get a doctorate in that shit. Honorary doctorate in exposing assholes. So kudos to that guy. But you need to address how you're going to do these things in a way that is ethical with the plan and the blueprint that the universe has set out for you. And considering the universe is female, I can assure you that it's only ever going to be a nurturing mindset. Basically, you got to keep yourself clean, morally clean, ethically clean. Don't lean towards things that are going to destroy you. She doesn't like destruction because it ruins all the work she's created. So if you're going to turn up being an asshole, hurting other people, just to get your way and get, you're going to get fucked over by the universe itself. She's going to step in and go, I'm not giving you the resources to do this. Why would I feed this machine of destruction? You're breaking all my shit, dude. And she'll take all your resources and all your connections that enable this. And you'll see a domino effect of people being removed if you're willing to use them as pawns in your story. So you have some agency in your own creation of your reality, but at the same time, everything is sort of fated. No, it's roundabout, isn't it? So people are like, what? So it's a dual effort thing. You still have free will, for example. They're not going to take that away, but they're going to present you with scenarios that address how you interact with that. And they're going to test to see if you know what the fuck you're doing. And the devil loves an idiot. They do. He was specifically designed to test for idiots. He's a litmus paper. You ever done science? Litmus paper to test if it's an acid or a base? He will dip into you to see what you do with whatever you know. He'll test to see if you're a corrupted file, basically. That's his whole purpose in life. He's not the big Megatron, mega evil thing that everybody's trying to make him out some evil. Oh my God, he's the ultimate evil. He's not he's an angel, but he's a litmus paper angel. He was an angel to start with. He was designed by the divine to see if you're a fucking idiot. That's all. He's a tool. The more horribleness you attribute to this person, the greater the assumption that you think he has more power over you. He doesn't. You've got free will. You can choose to do the right thing. You can choose to do the wrong thing. Ultimately, he's just a conduit. It's not even. He might be whispering things in your ear, but at the same time, it takes you to actually put the whisper to the grindstone, whether they work or not. All it's doing is, promoting the idea that the evil is the person's ego. It's you making the ultimate cut, whether this works or not. And everything is pre-fated. In this sense, fate is a case of pointing out the stupid. It's like there is a multitude of eventualities that could occur in your existence based on sort of butterfly effect. If you choose particular negative outcomes, it will come to a particular eventuality. If you choose the right ones, it comes to another one, which is better for you, will promote sustainability in your existence, possibly promotion in the next life. What you need to do is start thinking about how your actions now are affecting you in the future, and that means using common sense, looking at what other people are doing. That's why we have such a promotion of role models. I've only ever had anti-role models, so I've looked at them and I've said, that ripple effect caused this. I don't want to do that in the future. I'm not going to be that person. So that's how I've avoided a lot of pitfalls. I go away from drama and things like I don't like it. I don't like where it goes. You can see where it goes. Hindsight, you don't even need to touch the stove to know it's fucking hot. So the question is, my choices of participating in the events which occur, can I come over? Are you going to be an arsehole? My choice of events that I've sort of woven through the network of what could happen have basically, hopefully, been the most ethical I could find at the time, and it is subject to context as well, but they will just lay out a table of choices of events that you could participate in, all fated, all created by the divine. The ones you pick will dictate whether you are going to have a good life and possibly a promotion or a reincarnation to the same kind of life next time, or whether you will lead an absolute shit life and hate yourself at the end of it. So fate does intertwine with free will. They've given you the structure to look at. You need to pick which bits you want, is what I'm saying. People go, you can't have absolute fate. It's like everything's predetermined, you have to do this. It's like, no, they're giving you options, is what it is. God, the masculine, people keep calling it God, it's the masculine and divine energy, is the more logical, we assume. And he's saying, look, I'm giving you all these answers to questions you already have. Pick the ones you think will fit the best, and it will show you what kind of a future you're going to have. So if you've got the question of what should I do with my life, he's also going to present you with the option of get a degree, get an education, or he's going to do the wife and the family, or he's going to do drugs and excess. If you choose, everything comes with risks. If you choose the drugs and excess, it's going to be a bigger risk, and he's going to go, logically, that's not a good idea. And you'll also get the red flags as well. He'll say, this one's not going to be a good one. You feel shit after you've taken this drug once. Why would you do it again? So he's going to keep presenting the options to see if you are learning. And the devil will get in there and say, this fucker's an idiot. Let me show you how much of an idiot he is. This is fun. And he loves his fucking job. So he's a bit sadistic, but it's what he's designed to do. So you can't really balk at the fact that he's doing what he's designed to do. He probably doesn't know that he's fucking designed to do it. Is oblivious, otherwise, they'd have to develop some kind of a conscience. I find that weird. But if you look at people who use Satanism as a religion, I don't, because I think it's mental. So why would you worship an idiot? MAGA? So why are you doing that? A lot of their decisions are based on the idea that, what is it they say? It's not let it be. It's some do what you will. And it's a loaded gun in itself. It's like, in saying that, you're not considering the ripple effect of what could be. So that's stupid in itself. And so you'll find them doing horrible things. Horrible things that have a consequence, that you've been told have a consequence, that you've seen has consequence, and they'll assume that they're safe because they're backing the idiot, essentially. So you'll be fine. It's like, the divine created that one. He's there to make sure that you get your just desserts. Why would you follow him? Why would you copy him? It's absurd. And then you got a bunch of atheists. That's what I don't understand. Satanists are considered atheists. I'm going, first of all, it's in the name. In order to be a Satanist, you have to admit that there is a God opposing. It's a dichotomy. Why? Although having said that, that puts Satan on the same footing as God, and it's not the same. That implies that you've got some kind of, I would say, Judeo-Christian kind of mindset. So it is a religion and a belief system as well, but they're claiming to be atheists. I'm going, that's conflicting ideology. You created a paradox where you're in self-denial. Because without acknowledging God and that kind of mindset, you're denying that the devil exists by claiming you're an atheist. It doesn't make sense. It's a clusterfuck of stupidity, and again, quintessential of the devil's mindset. It's like, I'm going to be completely vague and see if the idiots follow. If anyone says anything, I'm going to insult them. Yeah, I think the devil's got into Trump. I think he has. Or dementia, or both. I don't know. But, it's questionable. So, on the overall scale, there is an element of fate in our existence. In an esoteric sense. You have a chance to make the right decisions. All decisions you make have an eventuality. The question is, what are you going to do for the best? And if you're going to choose to be a prick, of course, you're going to lead yourself towards the network path of something that will fail. And something that will be horrible. It's strange. I mean, it does. Some people view it as a means to avoid accountability for their actions, because it was fate that I should turn up and attack this person or some shit like that. I had to do it, but it was still a decision in itself. You chose to attack that person. That's your free will. That was a divine gift in itself, as well as conscience, another divine will gift. So you are given all the tools to exist and to better yourself. But some of these people want to ignore things like accountability and stuff. It doesn't make sense. And they'll just use fate as an umbrella to do evil. Weird. I mean, if you look at it, good is basically derived, what is viewed as good is basically derived from the survival of the species in a biological sense. We've created all these social norms and values which promote human existence and the equality of human existence. You wouldn't sit there and say we're going to stab every second person because it's a social good. You know that it would undermine the population. It wouldn't help with anything. That's why we've created our sense of values. It is meant to be for a collective good, which is based on perpetuation of the species. Some of these have got perverted because some people are messed up in the head. So we've got values which don't align with keeping people healthy, happy, and essentially breeding the next generation. Some people got greedy. They're now farming out people for labor and things like that and exploiting them, which actually causes stress in the vessel and now undermines their entire existence because they're too stressed to promote any kind of positivity, or it kills the vessel basically. But because they want that little bit of cash or something like that, or the power or perceived power, which is all a fucking illusion anyway, they're willing to promote values which essentially damage and kill people. People who have started wars just to say they're right, but then killing off members of their own species to do it. The inbuilt survival mechanism, a divine gift, one grossly ignored by people who will not use common sense. Do you even question why you're following this person's instructions to do these things? No. Well, you should, because the devil's getting into you. You should question. He's testing to see if you're an idiot, and you'll do it. Oh, Christ. You know what I don't understand is like mega churches and things like that. I look at all religions. I'm not picking one and saying this is the only one. I'm not that way. I'm an omnist. I look at them all and I say all of them have merits, but some of them don't have merits. Or all of them have merits and these particular aspects won't work, so why would we carry them on? That's what my point is. Mega churches have candified the sainthood of particular entities, and they created a capitalist version of religion. It's weird. I'm looking at what's Charlie Kirk's wife? What the hell, dude? What the hell? It's like her husband just died 6 weeks ago and she's just backing her music career off of his death. What the fuck? There's a whole bunch of weird shit going on there, and that's part of the current American administration in their government, where yes, religion can form moral compass for people. Obviously it's a collectivizer. It helps people come together for a common goal and a sense of morality, but at the same time they just applied capitalism to it, where they've made a shit ton of money off belief systems. This is no different from when we had the Reformation in the 1600s, 1700s, where people were dying and then leaving all their money to the church hoping it would buy them votes to get into heaven. It's the same shit, and it was 500 years ago. You know, why are we still doing it? How can you not see behind the curtain with that example? And their families were suffering because they were saying, I need to get into heaven. It's more important than leaving anything to my family so they can survive. So I'll donate all my wealth to the church, and that was Catholic Church, I think, at the time, or was it the Protestants? And it was just crazy. And the future generations suffer. It stuffed up the survival of the human race in that way, at least in a small context. I say small. It wasn't a mass global thing, I think, at the same time. But it's the mega churches that are just billionaires now. It's mass-produced religion. Not that religion isn't mass-produced anyway. But with a capitalist streak, which is not even subtle anymore. It's really obvious. And everything's been candified. And they want this hallmark vision of what people should be, which is why you've got, for example, Erica Kirk singing at her ex-husband's funeral. Deceased husband? Ex-husband? Makeup up to the eyeballs with her own entry theme like it's WWE. I'm sitting there going, this is meant to be a funeral. What is going on? Are you not grieving at all? This is the man you're supposed to love, right? But it's all fake. It's all for show. And to be honest, what I hear is she was actually interviewed for the position of wife with him. I'm going, what the hell? That's not what happens. This is not a job. It's a life. You're meant to love them. You marry them for love, and then you build and grow from there. But it's something wrong there, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's fake. but the way she has, like, there was GoFundMe pages, and already she's got money, and it's like, for his death, I'm going, why are you giving money to millionaires? They already got it. What, you don't need a GoFundMe page for that. She's fine. She's well put off. She probably insured his life for millions anyway. And then he got assassinated, and it's like, she already benefited from him dying, and now she's backing a music career off him. His death. 6 weeks, man. When I was divorced, it took me 2 years to get over my ex-husband. He wasn't even dead. It's like, you know, you're up and running and profiteering off of him 6 weeks later. That's so weird. It's weird and soulless. And yet they'll promote this as a religion. And you're sitting there thinking, you don't give a fuck. You have no soul except one that you can profit off of. And I don't understand why people are jumping on board with this. It's sick. You never loved him. He was just a prop so you could get paid. Like, at what point in his career where he became this sort of thing to follow? I wouldn't support him because I actually listened to him. But at what point did she jump on that bandwagon and think, oh, great, I've got a horse here. I've got a horse I can ride. Whether he lives or dies, I'm going to get paid. You know, at what point did it become that? And she gave him kids, so again, anchor babies. It's like, what the fuck? You're selling yourself and your soul down the river for the sake of popularity and money. And it's such a capitalist thing to do. And you're sitting there thinking, this was never love in the first place, was it? And now, 6 weeks later, after he's died, you're trying to bounce your music career off his back by doing it was a god-awful song. Honestly. I don't know who wrote it. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, you got no fucking soul whatsoever. It's like, I couldn't. It's absurd. So in any ways, maybe her standing up and doing that kind of thing was a sign of fate. Like, she has a choice. Do you grieve like a proper widow would, with feeling, and you withdraw yourself? Or do you use your husband's death as some kind of self-promotion? And right now people are ripping into her because she's chose the latter. So you have a choice in your own fate. Now the consequences of her doing that are going to be interesting. So I want to see what happens next, because we do all have agency in our own outcome, you know, sort of thing. You have a choice in what you do. So that's going to be something to watch. It's weird. It's not in line with my values. I felt like I died when my ex-husband left me. I didn't think this is a time to write a song and get my music career going and make a shit ton of money. I thought, I'm dying, dude. I can't live without him, sort of thing. And in that, my suffering helped me grow, because I did eventually evolve to create some kind of future for myself. I did not make money off it. I actually lost money off of losing my husband. But it's strange how people use their own free will to go particular ways. So, you know, weird. I'd like to see where that goes, to be honest. I'm watching, but I don't think it's going to end well. There's something wrong with it. I can feel in my bones there's something wrong with that, and it's not going to end well. Same as, you know, like Trump's family. It doesn't feel right that something's going to happen there. It's not going to be nice. It feels very Romanov, and I don't know why. I'm getting weird feelings from that. Anyway, I'm going to have to leave it there because I'm at work. You do have a say in what your life turns out to be, absolutely. I know we had Princess Catherine, or whatever her name is, saying when she was talking about people who are drug addicted, they have no choice. It is an addiction. You have no say in what you do. It's like, you absolutely have a say in what you do. This is your life. You can take it by the balls and say, I'm not doing this anymore. Absolutely. Fuck it up. That's what you're here for. Not fuck it up in a bad way, but fuck up any kind of addiction that'll fuck you over in the future. You absolutely have a sense of agency about yourself. You can make your own decisions. You are an adult. You can do this. It might have started off shit, but what did you actually learn from this experience in a way that you could transmute to create a better future for yourself and your family, if you have one, or wherever you want to go with that? Some people want a family, some people don't. When you take fate in a negative way, where you say, oh, it's predetermined and I can't do anything about it, and I'm fucked this life at least, it does take you out of the equation. Don't forget, you have a divine gift of choice. You do get to have a say in what you do with your life. The circumstances might be incredibly dire and shit, but still, you can work your way out of there. Everything is possible, especially in Buddhist terms. Or if you want to look into the eventualities of the universe, everything is possible. You just got to find your way through the path to get to the right point. And there is a multitude of eventualities which could occur. So it's up to you to try and plot and plan which way you're going to go so that it makes sense and you get there ethically. I mean, for example, I've got 5 yods. Yods are the divine finger of fate in my birth chart. I've yet to look into them properly to see what they're actually about. I'm supposed to be doing 5 big jobs. So it's like in this life, I'm going, I got to look into that more. It's probably an important feature. So I should be doing something with that. So I'll get around to it. Divine sitting there going, would you fucking move already? Or maybe I'm doing them already and I just don't know I'm doing them. Good question. I will look into that. All right, so take it easy. It is a Wednesday. Nearly the end of the week. Nearly the weekend. Take it easy, and hopefully you have a great Wednesday. And the rest of the week just slides into the weekend. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you later.